Cancer has been around for thousands of years, but before modern medicine, people came up with some pretty strange ideas about what caused it. So let's look at the strangest cancer myths in history, and how science finally set the record straight. Myth number 7, cancer caused by black bile. Back in ancient Greece, medicine was based on a theory of 4 humors. According to Hippocrates, the father of medicine, your health depended on the balance of blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. If those fluids got out of balance, disease appeared. Cancer, Hippocrates said, was caused by an excess of black bile building up in the body. The idea stuck around for centuries, even into the Middle Ages, shaping how doctors thought about disease. Of course, we now know there's no such thing as black bile. Cancer isn't caused by mysterious body fluids. It's caused by genetic mutations that allow cells to grow uncontrollably. The black bile myth sounds strange now, but it shows how people were trying to make sense of illness with the limited knowledge they had. And in a way, it set the stage for the long journey toward modern cancer science. Myth number 6, cancer is a punishment from God. For centuries in medieval Europe, disease wasn't just seen as a medical issue. It was often explained in spiritual terms. Many believed that illnesses, including cancer, were punishments from God for sins. If someone developed a strange lump or sore, it was thought to be divine judgment. This belief added a heavy burden of shame and stigma. Instead of seeking help, some people hid their symptoms out of fear of being judged by their communities. In some cases, patients turned to prayer or religious rituals instead of medical care, which only delayed treatment. Today, of course, we know cancer has nothing to do with morality. It's caused by changes in DNA that lead to uncontrolled cell growth, influenced by things like genetics, environment, and lifestyle. No one deserves cancer. It's not a punishment. It may sound harsh now, but this myth shows how powerful beliefs can shape people's experience of illness. Thankfully, science has replaced shame with understanding, and modern medicine focuses on treatment and support, not blame. Myth number 5, cancer is contagious. In the 18th and 19th centuries, many people believed cancer was contagious, almost like tuberculosis or the flu. If someone in a community developed a tumor, others worried they might catch it through touch or close contact. Hospitals sometimes even refused to admit cancer patients out of fear they would spread disease to others. Science has since proven this isn't true. Cancer itself is not contagious. You can't catch cancer from hugging, sharing meals, or being near someone who has it. That myth was based on fear and misunderstanding. But here's where it gets interesting. While cancer isn't contagious, certain viruses and infections can raise the risk of developing it. For example, human papillomavirus, HPV, can lead to cervical, throat, and other cancers. Hepatitis B and C viruses can increase the risk of liver cancer. Helicobacter pylori, a bacteria that infects the stomach, can raise stomach cancer risk. So while the old myth isn't true, there's a grain of reality. Infections can play a role in cancer, but it's the virus or bacteria that's contagious, not the cancer itself. And the good news is that vaccines, like the HPV vaccine, can prevent many of these infection-related cancers. Myth number 4, cancer caused by wearing black or trauma. By the 19th century, doctors were starting to document cancer more carefully, but that didn't stop unusual theories from spreading. Some physicians claimed that physical trauma, like a hard blow to the chest or a fall, could trigger cancer. Others even suggested that wearing black clothing might somehow cause tumors to form. These ideas were based on observation without real science. For example, if someone developed breast cancer after an injury, doctors sometimes assumed the trauma caused the cancer, rather than simply revealing a lump that was already there. And the clothing theory? That had no medical basis at all. It was more superstition than science. Today we know that while trauma can draw attention to an existing tumor, it doesn't cause cancer. Cancer develops from genetic mutations that make cells grow uncontrollably, often influenced by risk factors like smoking, diet, environment, or inherited genes. And as for wearing black, the only real danger there is staying in the sun too long without sunscreen, not the color of your clothes. It may sound strange now, but these myths show how desperate people were to explain cancer before genetics and modern oncology revealed the truth. Myth number 3. Cancer caused by witches or curses. Before science could explain what tumors were, mysterious lumps or sores were often blamed on witchcraft or curses. In parts of Europe and Africa, people believed that if someone developed a strange swelling, it meant they had been hexed or targeted by evil spirits. This way of thinking wasn't just superstition. It also shaped how people were treated. Instead of getting medical help, some turned to rituals, charms, or even accused others of causing their illness. In some communities, cancer patients faced fear and isolation, much like those accused of witchcraft themselves. Today, we know cancer has nothing to do with magic or curses. And as mentioned earlier, it's a disease caused by genetic mutations in cells, often triggered by risk factors like tobacco, diet, infections, or environmental exposures. But it's worth remembering how powerful these old beliefs were. They sometimes delayed real treatment and left patients suffering in silence. What replaced curses? Science. By the 19th and 20th centuries, researchers began uncovering the biological basis of cancer, setting us on the path to modern oncology. Myth number 2, cancer doesn't affect children. For much of history, cancer was seen as an adult disease. Childhood cancers were rarely recognized or diagnosed, partly because most children in earlier centuries didn't live long enough for chronic diseases to develop. Doctors in the 18th and 19th centuries often believed children were too young to develop tumors, and when a child did fall ill, their symptoms were sometimes blamed on infections or failure to thrive instead of cancer. We now know that isn't true. Children can and do develop cancer. In fact, about 400,000 children worldwide are diagnosed with cancer each year. The most common types include leukemia, brain tumors, and lymphomas. Treatments have advanced dramatically. In the 1960s, survival rates for childhood leukemia were less than 10%. Today, thanks to modern therapies, more than 85% of children with acute lymphoblastic leukemia survive long-term. The old belief that kids were immune to cancer is one myth we're grateful science disproved. Recognizing childhood cancer led to the development of pediatric oncology, and today, children with cancer have better chances than ever before. Myth number 1. Cancer is always a death sentence. Even well into the 20th century, a cancer diagnosis was often considered a hopeless verdict. Patients were sometimes told very little about their illness, and doctors avoided saying the word cancer altogether because the stigma was so great. For many families, cancer was whispered about but never spoken of openly. But science has completely changed that picture. While cancer is still serious, survival rates have improved dramatically. For example, the 5-year survival rate for breast cancer caught early is now nearly 90%. Colon cancer, prostate cancer, and many childhood cancers also have far better outcomes today compared to just a few decades ago. Advances in early detection, surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, targeted therapies, and immunotherapy have transformed cancer care. The idea that cancer is always fatal is one of history's most damaging myths, and debunking it gives real hope. Many people today live long, fulfilling lives after treatment, and cancer survivorship is one of medicine's greatest success stories. Looking back, it's almost hard to believe some of these myths. Black bile, curses, punishment from God, even the idea that children couldn't get cancer. But they remind us how far medicine has come. Today, science shows us what really causes cancer, and more importantly, how it can be treated and prevented. Each myth, replaced by fact, has led to progress. And for millions of people, survival. So if you or someone you love is facing cancer, remember this. The old myths are gone, and in their place are real treatments, real progress, and real hope. If you found this fascinating, give this video a like and share it with someone who loves history and health stories. Don't forget to subscribe for more clear, inspiring videos about cancer and science. You can also support our channel through merch or super thanks. And if you'd like to learn about the foods that may help lower your cancer risk, check out our video right here. Stay curious, stay hopeful, and take care of yourself.